Hello everyone. In this video we're going to know about what encapsulation means and we're going to understand the importance of getters and setters. So let's get started. First understand the definition of encapsulation. So encapsulation in Java is a mechanism to wrap up variables and methods together as a single unit. What does this mean? If you could see this picture here, encapsulation means something like a capsule which contains methods and variables. If you consider the class as a capsule, so this particular class is a mixture of methods and variables. If you put them together, it is called as encapsulation. It is the process of hiding information, details, and protecting the data and the behavior of the object. So we have some sensitive data which should be hidden from the users. So we hide that particular data from the users. So how do we hide the data? In order to hide the data in a particular class, we use this keyword private. If you have to hide the variable or if you have to hide the method or any of the class's attributes, we use the keyword private. So private, what does that do? If you haven't checked the access modifier video, please do check that, wherein I've discussed about private, protected, and public. So this private access modifier, this doesn't allow anything to get accessed outside the class. So you cannot access the data outside the class. So then if you put the private keyword there, how can you access the data? We can access the data using the get method and the set method. So if we provide the public get and set methods, we can access the private data and we can also update the private data. So let's get to know more about the get and the set methods on our IDE. Now we are on our IDE. So now we are going to understand what the get method is and what the set method is. Before that, I'll create a private variable string name. So this is a private variable which I've created. Private in the sense you cannot access it outside the class. That is what the private key private access modifier does. So we've created this variable. The next thing we're going to create is a getter or the get method. So what does that get method do? So get method is nothing but it returns the value. It gives the value. So let's create a getter public string get name. So this is how we create a getter. We first mention the keyword get and then we write the name of the variable. Here the name of the variable is name. So the first letter should be capital. So this should be in camel case. What does the get method do? It just returns the variable, returns the value of the variable. That is what a getter does. And the next thing we're going to discuss is a setter. What does a setter do? A setter or the set method sets the value of the variable. Just, sets the value. See, you could see the names itself, getter and setter. Getter is getting the value or retrieving the value, and setter is setting the value. The name speaks for itself. So public void, just like you mentioned the get name, you're mentioning the set name, but this has a parameter. Let's say new name. This is the parameter. Now this dot name equals new name. Okay, so set method what it does is it takes a parameter, in this case it's new name, and it assigns it to this particular name variable which we've created. So here you could see this keyword. What this does is this refers to the current object. So here you could see we have declared the variable as private, and then we have created a getter and we have created a setter. Now let's get into the main method. First, before we use the getters and setters, first let's try to access that particular variable. So for that, vehicle object1 equals new vehicle. Fine, we've created an object. Object1 dot name equals, let's say the name of the vehicle is truck. Now if I try to print this out, if I try to print this name, it is showing an error, but still, let's run the program. See, it couldn't compile this particular program because the variable is private and you cannot access it. Now, we'll do the same thing, but this time we'll use the getters and setters. So first of all, object1 dot set name. So here the name is truck. So we have set the name. Now the next thing is we're getting the name. So object1 dot get name. Now if we run this particular program, you could see this truck got printed over here. So let me summarize everything. First thing we've done is we have created a private variable called as name. So we have checked whether we could access this particular variable outside the class or not. And the result we got is we couldn't access that particular variable. So we have created a get method or a getter and the set method or the setter. So what does a getter do? A getter returns the value of the variable. And what does a setter do? A setter would set the value of the variable. And here this keyword would refer to the current object. So here in this main method, we have created an object, and then we have set the name of the variable as truck, and then we retrieve that particular value using the get method. I hope this is clear.
Hope you clearly understood what encapsulation means, and you also understood what getters and setters are. If you haven't accessed the playlist, please do access it right now. The link is in the description box below. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel. We'll meet in the next one.